The last tool that we are going to see in our workspace paint is the clone tool up here. Let's go back for a moment into our standard workspace so I can drag inside my composition an animation clip, a video clip. I drag also on top of my timeline and I go back to my paint workspace. Now I double click my new layer and as you can see I have all my animation, my video, it's not an animation. I have all my photograms here available for this layer. Now I can pick my clone tool and as in Photoshop I can go somewhere inside my image and click to select my source point. But before doing that I have to tell you something. First of all, we have some difference inside After Effects that are not the same in Photoshop. First of all, I have my preset here and here I have my offset point. So if I push my Alt button onto my keyboard, my cursor change and I can choose my source point. Now if I move my mouse, as you can see my offset is changing, and as soon as I click somewhere inside the image I start cloning my source point. Now my offset is fixed, so anytime I want to clone another part 2 or 3 times, there is no difference because my offset is fixed. Inside here, inside my timeline, inside my effects, I have my paint layer and I have my 3 clones. As you can see, if I hide the clone 2 and 3, nothing happens because contains the same source of clone 1, so I can delete both clone 2 and clone 3. What can I do now? I can create another clone in a different part of my image, just selecting another preset whose offset now is set to 0, 0. I can alt click once again on top of my airplane here and I can clone this plane in another place, for instance here. Now with these 2 clones I can open my workspace, my composition here. I just hide my tiger. Let's go 200% just to have a better view. And as you can see, while I'm moving my scroll bar here inside my timeline, I have the 2 plane cloned that works in that moves in conjunction of the original airplane. But here inside my panel I have another option, that is time shift. So let's go back into our layer, just select for instance the clone 2, that is the second airplane, and as for the paint tool I can replace, just selecting the clone, I can replace my stroke with another one, but this time I want to change my time shift just a little bit, for instance 15 frames. Now I start painting again, and as you can see something is changing just a little bit. But what's going on? Let's move again inside our composition. I change my view because here the refresh is in real time, here no. just the image will be refreshed every time I leave my mouse here inside my timeline. But now, if I scroll my timeline, this airplane right here is not moving in conjunction with these other two. So it looks like it is another airplane. These options are also available inside the stroke option and also are animatable, as you can see. So for instance, I can change my time shift also after I create my clone, and I want to do it in my clone 1 about this airplane. I have here below my clone time, and as you can see, as I scroll my mouse inside this option, I'm changing the time for this airplane. So now I have 3 planes moving distinct, any one from the other. Another nice option available for the clone tool is the possibility to clone one layer onto another layer. Let's go back here and let's choose our tiger. We have just 2 presets, the first one and the second one, where the source is the airplane. Source is the file sr71.mov. With this preset, I can clone onto our tiger the airplane. And here, inside my composition windows, I can watch the airplane flying onto the tiger. So the clone tool offers many options that make it different from Photoshop.